I think telling Docebo's story comes back to a little bit of what I've been learning recently, reading a lot of books about L&D and HR and training organizations. In the 70s and 80s, a lot of organizations started with doing a lot of formalized training. They realized that this would be a great way to quickly onboard people. Um, but after that, they really didn't get a lot of engagement because it was like the old style of training. You would just train for a day and forget everything afterwards. So it was the same thing that a lot of universities and a lot of high schools would utilize. That's why you don't remember a lot about our biology or chemistry or physics classes. It wasn't relevant to us. Um, Organizations then started to create centers of excellencies where you would do a lot of coaching, mentorship, but it'd be all centralized in one place. And this was very, very, very costly. And then people would go back to their organizations and not really utilize it. Closer to the 90s and the early 2000s, people started realizing the way that we truly learn is by communicating with our peers. We learn by asking questions day in and day out. People start gathering all this information in different areas. The problem lies that it became a lot very siloed. I think Docebo, as an organization, saw that there was an opportunity to create a drastic change in learning because the way that people were learning wasn't really giving the results. The learning organization was not given value. And quite honestly, just wasn't utilized by many people. It wasn't seen as a competitive advantage. Come into 2017, 2018, the human capital scenario in the world today has changed drastically. People are learning at speeds never before seen through their mobile device, from their peers through social media, through YouTube and Google. The problem lies is that we have a huge human capital burden right now because in the next 5 to 10 years, a lot of the jobs that we currently have are going to be gone. So organizations have realized that they have to take learning and innovation and training to get the human capital they need to drive innovation in their own companies from within. They can't rely on colleges, on universities anymore. It's too costly for individuals. They don't see that as a method to improve. So organizations have to take that into their own hand. And I think Docebo, as a vision, we realize that learning and development can't be siloed into different technologies that we have because that makes it uncomfortable for an individual to realize, where do I learn? So as Docebo as an organization, we realize that first we have to make it really easy for people to collaborate, share information, whether that's with your peers in your individual business unit or from leaders from other business units that can deliver the messaging of why that organization exists and what problems they want to solve and how they're currently solving that in their different sectors. Got to break down the silos. Then we really have to tackle the problem of skill development. So Docebo is doing that by being able to recognize a role as different skills and drive learning to that individual to help them improve, not only in their current role, but also for future roles. And that gives organizations insight onto who would be in position to take on those challenges. The challenges that organizations need because leaders are needed right now. And a lot of leaders in current organizations, lots set to retire. And this millennial organization really needs a driven leadership group to enable them, and they need to grow really fast because the world is changing really fast. And the way that we really tackle that challenge now, in reality, just bringing all that together is already different than most learning technologies out there. But I think taking it one step further is bringing artificial intelligence into the mix to make it easier for learners to find relevant content through tagging, as well as innovate what it means to automate tasks that don't really deliver results when it comes to learning and innovation and driving that needle to learn a skill shorter and shorter and shorter. That's why I think Docebo is setting the stage for something big in learning space.